Welcome back, video creeps. Speaking of creep, the film industry has often witnessed the success of so many franchises, with many sequels and trilogies just right in our reach. And it captivates audiences and it leaves us wanting more. And among these movies that we just can't get enough of is the Creep series, which since its release has garnered a huge and dedicated fan base. And not only did that initial one do great, but it gave us a sequel that we all accepted with open arms. However, with news running cold in 2020 on a follow-up to that 2017 installment, it may be time to address the elephant in the room. Now, to understand the significance of a Creep 3, we must first acknowledge the success of its predecessors. Now, the first two films were helmed by none other than the legendary, in my book anyway, Mark Duplass, who not only starred in the movies, but co-wrote and produced them. And when he did that, the state of horror was kind of in like an awkward in the middle place. The movies that we were talking about at the time had kind of a specific vibe to just like put you in the mindset and remind you of what was going on in 2014. We saw movies like As Above, So Below, The Taking of Deborah Logan, Tusk, Clown, The Babadook, The First Annabelle, Ouija, Leprechaun Origins. So not the most impressive year for horror, but certainly not the worst year that we've ever had in horror either. We were just kind of right in that middle spot. Overall, it was just kind of mid. So when this found footage styled horror movie popped on the scene, presenting an innovative take on the subgenre, motherfuckers took notice, son. Partnered with Duplass's portrayal of the enigmatic and unsettling character of Joseph or Aaron or whatever identity he wants to be, the community not only embraced it, but like praised it. Not only because of its unique story, but its awesome execution. In fact, I remember working at like the sock shop in Berkeley when this movie came out. And my manager Cassie like fucking couldn't wait to tell me about this movie. And like Tubby Time and shit. Like I took notice. Shout out to Cassie, Zoe, and Odetta. But not Maya. Maya was a weird bitch. The film earned every bit of critical acclaim that was thrown its way. Creep gave us this tense and like mind fuck of a movie that just ended so unforgiving and strange. Like what was Peach Fuzz, man? What was it? What was that, man? And what's really great about that movie and the mark of an awesome film is the transformation of that film on a second watch, which watching Creep back after knowing what is fully going on, it's like you get these two films, and it's incredibly rewarding. And all of that success led to a sequel, Creep 2, which continued to explore the unnerving world of Joseph, only this time with a shift in momentum, where now we get to see a murderer grappling with his own lack of motivation. It's like twisted yet somehow relatable, and it takes a look at that character in a fun and innovative way, which is something sequels tend to fail at. Creep 2 came in and exceeded expectations in that regard, and somehow in it created brand new intrigue, and the people were ready for more. Only now, audiences felt comfortable raising the bar, setting it at this almost impossible level for not just Creep, but almost any other third installment. Like, we all love Terrifier, and we're not putting pressure on Terrifier 3 the way that we seem to be putting pressure on Creep 3, which brings us to current day. Bringing a film series to a satisfying conclusion is a daunting task for any filmmaker. Is it better to burn out or to fade away? The creators of Creep 3 know this all too well, as they have been grappling with this challenge
for 7 years.
Now, several sources have reported on the difficulties faced by the production team in finding a cohesive narrative that maintains the film's eerie atmosphere while again offering new and compelling elements. One of the primary obstacles for any writer is being faced with the monster that is the critical need to strike a balance between repetition and transformation. Now, while artistic integrity is king, at the same time, fans have a right to certain expectations. And unfortunately, the Creep 3 team is painfully aware of this fact. And that delicate tightrope walk has led to the worst scenario possible: stagnation. This crippling fear, can we still say crippling? Is that PC? Has led to numerous versions of this film being created only to fall victim to vigorous rewrites and revisions that ultimately result in every script being thrown away. Again, this process has been happening for 7 years. Like, children are in 3rd grade now since like the last film. But the decision to create a 3rd film can't be taken lightly either. And just the conversation that surrounds if we even should have a 3rd film inevitably sparks an important debate. And that's not just for the fans, that's for the creators as well. So what do? Some argue that Creep as a duology is a testament to its success in and of itself, while others anticipate a fitting conclusion to this story's arc. The truth is, the necessity that surrounds a 3rd Creep film is subjective, son. On the one hand, the film has a potential to deepen the what's already been established of it all, and it can serve as an opportunity for artistic exploration, allowing the creators to push the boundaries of this subgenre even further. And it can subvert us in the way that the second did from the first. On the other hand, the risk of diluting the impact of the first 2 films or disappointing fans looms fucking large. A clear vision to avoid tarnishing the series is paramount in terms of continuing. So an important question must be posed, yo. As fans, should we trust the creators? Perhaps they are struggling because there just is no more. The first 2 films gave us everything that we genuinely needed, which, to be clear, if that was the case, they did their job. We see Joseph's arc, we see what he does in the first film, we become acquainted with him, and then in the second one we see him in a place where he's grappling with who he is and his legacy and shit, and we not only leave that character reinvigorated, but we leave him with a worthy adversary. We can all go to bed at night knowing that Joseph is out there playing cat and mouse. So do we need more? Where else could the series go? Would fans be excited to see a prequel, once again placing us, the viewers, at an unexpected time in Joseph's life? Could we piggyback on the found footage element of these films and see a documentary style film, Creep 3, that's from the perspective and focus of his victims' families, learning more about Joseph through their stories and the people that they've lost, even seeing the court case of Joseph? I love shit like that. Theorizing about where the story could go is part of the excitement of wanting a part 3. But do we need it? Can we walk away on this one? To be clear, I'm not saying that if a Creep 3 dropped tomorrow, I wouldn't be there at 12 a.m. ready to watch it as soon as it hit. Think I'd be able to abstain from something like that? I'm not a fucking saint. I got desire in my heart. But there's this big fact at play here, and that's that there is an undeniably toxic relationship between horror fans and filmmakers. Allow me to explain. Horror fans are never satiated with just one thing. Like, if we like it once, we want to see it 12 more times. We have terrible attachment issues, and filmmakers love making money. So as long as the two are codependent on one another, we will continue to see Silent Night, Deadly Night 9, and fucking Night of the Living Dead Holocaust. But is that what we want for Creep? Is it better to burn out or to fade away? So I pass the baton to you. Do you feel satisfied with Joseph's arc, or do you want more Creep? Whatever you think, let me know down in the comments below. And if you made it to the end of the video, or you just want to help support, make sure that you like and drop a comment. Every time that you drop a comment on my stuff, it shows that my video has some activity going on, and it really helps. So even to say hi, drop something down there. If you're already subscribed, go ahead and hit the bell so that way you always know when I drop new stuff. I have a lot of really interesting videos just in the can, just waiting to drop. So you're gonna want to stick around for those. And if you want to reach the top of the mountain and support the shit out of me, become a Patreon. Throw a couple bucks my way for my efforts, and do yourself the favor, because then you get access to a ton of exclusive content over there. That's gonna be it for this one. Peace, video creeps.
I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. And I punch the man who says I'm not. I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. And I punch the man who says I'm not.